And welcome back. If you were on social media yesterday, you would see the pictures from Kumasi during the day as quiet as a cemetery. And during the night, as quiet as Elm Street. Have you watched the horror movie Elm Street?
No, I don't do horror. I don't do any horror movie.
It was a nightless life.
Yeah.
On the streets of Kumasi yesterday night. I couldn't believe it. Look, if KMA says that nobody should move on the streets of Kumasi, they will move. But Mesha says don't move, nobody move. Yeah. During the day. So this is now what we're proposing on the show. We want a replica of Mesha to be created in Accra. Replica of Mesha to be created in all the regional capitals. Each time a Metropolitan Assembly wants to do something, then they bring the Mesha of that area to be promulgating and be giving the directives.
I don't know what
you're powerful.
This would work. This would work in Asantema, but even if you were to replicate this in Greater Accra, it won't work. We've got too many individual interests. Yeah, exactly. Too many chiefs. I'm not sure they all come under a certain umbrella, and so no, I doubt if that will work.
We'll see how that goes.
It's time for us to do the newspapers. We've got our little money moments here. And I promised that for Monday is a big promise. We'll give you some money tidbits, very useful money tidbits here on the show. But do we put our 10 Ghana cedis in the box?
That.
This is the moment where we have our box, our money box, our susu box.
Even the market. All we will show you.
Where we put our contributions in our little box. I have a feeling maybe that should just hold. Let's do the newspapers, roll, and do the graphic.
No.
You're fascinated by the silence in Kumasi yesterday. So front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, Asante Hima laid to rest. Some mourners wailing at the final burial rites. That picture by Douglas Anane Frimpong and Emmanuel Ban on the front page of the paper. This happened earlier yesterday, Thursday, but we know that later in the night, when nobody was supposed to come out in Kumasi, she was laid to rest. May her soul rest in peace. Vetting of ministerial nominees begins today. We've got Mr. Yao Osafo Mafo, Senior Minister Designate, on the front page of the paper. Here on the AM show, we've got the chairman of the vetting committee, who also happens to be the first deputy speaker of parliament, Joe Osei-Wusu, speaking to Joseph Opoko Gakpo. There are some concerns that have come up. For instance, where are the CVs? That's something we heard yesterday. So there's an interaction that we'll play back to you here on our show. Jubilee failed to shut down for 15 days. What does it mean? What would happen to us? Yesterday, I didn't have lights for, I guess, the greater part of the day. Came back late in the evening. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Leroy Renard face-to-face as Togo-Morocco clash. Tunisia beat Algeria. Senegal first to advance. Egypt lose 2 goalies to injury. All right, more sports details even here on the AM show later this morning. But let's open the story up. The pages up and share a few with you. I'm interested in page 16. It has to do with power. And anytime you hear there's a shutdown, the question you ask is Doomsok coming back? Is there going to be some load shedding schedule? And the story says that oil production on the Jubilee field will be shut down for 15 days starting February 3, 2017 to allow for an interconnection with the Trinidad, Enyera, and Tommy operations. The plant shutdown will lead to immediate curtailment of production and export of natural gas from the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah to the Atwabo gas processing plant, and subsequently stop the supply of lean gas from the plant to the power generating enclave at Abuaze. However, the power generating companies have expressed readiness to switch to crude oil to ensure uninterrupted generation. Is this really true? We wait to see. There are more stories in the paper. Ministry releases 70 million Ghana cedis to pay election officials. Story says that the Ministry of Finance has directed the Controller and Accountant General's Department to release some 70 million Ghana cedis to the Electoral Commission to pay off part of the cost of the December 7, 2016 general election. The money will assist the EC to defray parts of its 293 million Ghana cedis indebtedness to election officials and companies that provided services during the December 7 general elections. All right, more stories in the Daily Graphic newspaper. You can grab the paper and read. Good morning to Mr. Daniel Kenu of the Daily Graphic in the Ashanti region in Kumasi. We hope that you're doing well this morning.
Right done. Michelle, hi. We have a daily guide. Did you do the center spread of daily guide?
Oh, no, I didn't.
That's the reason why.
Yes, true. That's why you gave me the paper.
Center spread.
Apologies,
Hey.
Center spread. Kumasi shuts down
Market, so.
for Menchia.
This is serious.
Yeah, but this started in the morning. We went to the Central Business District. Remember, him in
Yes, I know,
Terrier was
but
there
this
for
one,
us.
No human being.
Yeah,
Look,
no.
there's something on social media. They say even the madmen knew that they're supposed to. Madmen, they don't know anything.
Yeah,
Even
so
the madmen on the
Kumasi.
street of Kumasi knew that Charlie. The Asantehema was going to be buried.
So
they had to
George
go, obviously.
Ernest Asari and Enoch Dafa Frimpong Kumasi.
Good morning to you,
right?
Enoch.
There were
That's
no
my
commercial
classmate
activities
right
in the Kumasi metropolis yesterday, as the late Asantehema Nanefia Kobisewa
Even
Ampem
madmen
II was given her last respect. The Central Business District of Edum, an area known for brisk business and commercial activities, was virtually empty when the Daily Graphic went around town. No shop in the area was open, and commercial vehicles which parked at vantage points were empty of passengers. Story same really when we went around early in the morning yesterday. Our cameras are on the streets of Kumasi today. What's happening a day after the silence? Are people back? Are the vehicles back? Are children going back to school? Are the banks operating in Kumasi? Or him in Terrier, Erastus Asari Donko and Maxwell Agbagba, Setenge and the rest of the team, they will be there to bring us what's happening today in Kumasi. Kumasi has been the center of attraction essentially for the entire week, really. Yeah, there's power somewhere, you know.
telling you.
There's order.
To me.
Order.
To me, wo baby.
Man.
It's the title of a new song by Nasi.
Yeah.
To me, oh baby.
You don't refer to the powerful in Ashanti as Otekokoso for nothing, man. It means a lot.
Government even cannot make people go silent on the street.
No, I mean, I think that's why
It's a serious.
you need to team up with the traditional leaders because they're pretty much very powerful.
Charlie, they are powerful.
Yeah.
But two for we are powerful.
There are a lot of powerful chiefs in Ghana. We salute all of you. Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at this. The front page of the Daily Guide has a story. Kumasi goes dead. It's true. Look at this one. Usually you find some, there's usually a madman who will be standing here. Not here. Please zoom in. The madman is not usually.
Master, the madman got the order, eh? They got it, they got it.
Also, two for Barry's mother. And we also have Queen Mother, please. Ministers face vetting.
No, but it's Otumfo's mother.
I know.
Yeah,
But
it's his mother
The ceremony
first.
is because
It's his mother first. Mothers are absolutely important role and get it.
new Gambia president sworn in Dakar.
Am I boring
And I
you?
don't know whether you know about a feud between Stonebwoy and what's the name of Danny? Is it Danny Beats or
Beats Dake.
Beats Dake.
Well, whichever way you want to pronounce it. But it's
So-
the guy who makes his beats. Yeah.
So he did
The guy who's done all his beats really. Apart from maybe very recent ones.
Yes, I guess the new
where
one.
he's using a guy that this guy trained, you know. But
I hope that I hope sometimes you just have to.
so Stonebwoy and this manager issue, I'm not sure. I don't even know. And somebody said that it looks like the media people have a soft spot for Stonebwoy. So they are not talking about his matter as much as they would have made so much noise if it was Shatawale or somebody
That's true,
else.
because Shatawale's one was a big deal.
But I think it's only because nobody is coming out like, you know, the guy, the beats maker, for instance, has said that the initial story that came out and this whole thing is because he wants an up in percentage for his work because Stonebwoy is now big. They started working, you know, when he was nothing really. And
But
so,
I
and he
think
gets
makes lots of
apparently
sense.
some 5% of what he makes, but he doesn't charge him for the works that he does for him. So he's looking for, what came out was 20%, which he's come out to deny. But he's also come out to say that the earlier story that came, what started this whole conversation, he's not the person who leaked it. He didn't speak to any media person. What he sought to do was to say that some of the things that the paper had speculated wasn't true. And then Stonebwoy, we know, also wrote something on Facebook. So it's as if the issue itself is not being addressed. So you don't really know where to start from when you want to comment. But all I know is this is not good for you, Stonebwoy. I mean, whatever it is, you've got to fix it. Yeah. And I know some beat makers, well, and this is what they're saying. You know, the producers who pick people from nowhere, they've said that, Charlie, from today, if you're new and you come, I'll charge you. There's nothing like Debbie, because when Debbie for you, you don't remember me, and you take on new management.
Money is important.
But I don't know, why don't they do the contracts thing? Contracts.
But first, it starts afresh. You don't know whether the guy will be a hit or something. Then it becomes a hit. Once a train is wait about. That's the problem.
What I know is that
do daily guide.
What I know before you do daily dispatch, what I know is that it's the, you know, the people like Marco Krekumante, the well-established ones, they're going to do the contract and they will do the percentages inside. You know, if you like it, come on board. But is this beats maker, I mean, he was also fresh. It's like he needed him.
A break.
He also needed him. They both partnered. There was something like that because they were both coming from an unknown place. So then you couldn't be so hard. You know, that kind of thing.
Yes, I know.
Oh, gosh.
I just wish that such relationship wouldn't go too sore, and sometimes it just goes. It's human nature.
And now Stonebwoy has a new manager. He's asking the guy to deal with the new manager. You know, that kind of thing. When I was dealing with you in the beginning when we started, it was just me and you. Now you think, yeah, you are there. So you have there's somebody that you want me to speak to concerning issues with you. It's a whole,
It's a bit muddy.
It's true.
Anyway, the Daily Dispatch, debate on future president terms of office. One term of 6 years better than 2 4-year terms. And we know this debate has come up. Dr. Busakara of the CPP raising an issue first raised by former President John Kufuor. We have certified 2016 parliamentary election results publications continuing in pages 5, 6, 7. We quickly have to do the Ghanaian Times. And it says Senegal invades Gambia as Barrow is sworn into office. Asante Hima goes home, and six-phase vetting committee today. And we know a lot of things are work one, but it's also because a lot of things took place throughout the week in Kumasi. So we'll bring you flip through some of the pictures if we can. And you see the pictures on your screen soon about the empty streets of Kumasi. And our director, Fred Potterface, is making those pictures available for us.
In the meantime, let's do the Finder newspaper. Talos suspends gas exports since yesterday morning due to faults. ASAP calls for technical audit of power sector infrastructure. 720 cases recorded. Cholera in 2017. Unbelievable. Vet and minority majority clash over CVs of nominees. Is this a different angle to the same shutdown of one of the processing plants? This story on page 2, let me just read a bit of this angle as well. Gas export from the floating storage and offloading vessel Kwame Nkrumah was suspended yesterday morning following what Talo described as an abnormality in compression. Ms. Ekia A. Anafuchumesi from the External Communications Unit of Talo Ghana Limited, lead operators of the Jubilee Fields, confirmed this to the Finder. She stated that export of gas is expected to commence in about 36 hours from the time the export was suspended. As at the time of filing this report yesterday evening, the Volta River Authority had not felt the impacts of the shutdown because Ghana National Gas Company pipelines had enough gas. However, Ghana is likely to ask VRA to shut down this morning because the gas in the pipelines would run out. That's scary. Roland, what, you're shaking your head?
Yes.
Let me go to page 4 on this cholera situation. Quite a number recorded in 2017 already, and today's 20th. It says that statistics gathered by the Ghana Health Service shows that 720 cases of cholera was recorded last year with Central Region topping the regional chart with 695 recorded cases.
Yeah, there was an outbreak in Central Region.
This is misleading, isn't it? Because it says 720 cases recorded in 2017. But when you read the story, it's referring to 2016 statistics. Yeah. All right.
Last year there was an outbreak in the Central Region.
Mr. Elvis Diakon, what happened to your paper this morning?
Is he the editor?
Yes, he is. Okay. Yes, he is.
Elvis, good morning to you, Elvis.
Let's do the online review now. Let's go to myjoyonline.com. We'll do City FM, we'll do the BBC Africa page. We know that Yaya Jammeh very much been making headlines, also making headlines in the United States. It's President-elect Donald Trump, who by midnight Washington, D.C. time will be President Trump. Are you used to it? Are you used to that? Yes?
Yeah, President Trump. I'm used to it now.
President Trump, President Trump, President Trump, President Trump. Charlie, I sat here to say never, ever, ever, ever.
We all did. Well, I guess the election took everybody by surprise.
Yeah.
Actually, elections the last year have been wonderful. So we have some stories.
Can we go to the second one? Is this the first? The second one, please.
Third one.
Is there? I'm not sure. Otherwise, Fred, just scroll down. Let's do what we see on the page. ECOWAS must consider religious leaders in Gambia impasse. One says mediators working to get Yaya Jammeh to relinquish power to the new president of the Gambia must consider imams in the process. We're ready to grill Ekufuado's nominees. Haruna Idris, who's minority leader in parliament, is saying Ghana likely to be plunged into doom. So if Barrow inaugurated as Gambian president, we know that happened in Senegal yesterday at the Gambian embassy. Osafo Mafo, Foriata, others face tough day adverting today in defense of President Ekufuado, clearing the textual confusion of Ayaga. Oh, it's a feature, you can read about it. Some unconstitutional or constitutional matters that you can read about it on myjoyonline.com. Let's do City FM if we can. Kandapa Osafo Mafo, others face vetting committee today. Gambia crisis, Nanado erred in deploying troops. That's according to one of the MPs, a minority MP. Will vet ministerial nominees thoroughly, according to Haruna Idris. The Gambian President Barrow calls on UN ECOWAS to force out Jammeh. We know that the UN has backed calls for this. They are certainly in favor of this. And Yaya Jammeh has up to midday Gambian time to vacate, or they move him out. Consequences, we're yet to see. Let's do BBC. All right, so trending, Gambian leader gets a final ultimatum until noon to cede power to Adama Barrow. Senegalese troops stand by. What do you think is going to happen, Roland? Because he hasn't done this, like, even before the swearing in. They gave him a final time. People spoke to him.
I think
what's
going
going to happen? He wants to,
unless perhaps they go and have further discussions with him, which they intend to do, and then maybe he changes his mind. I don't think that going by the current status quo is going to change his mind.
He's going to change his mind?
No. He looks like somebody who is adamant wants to, unless maybe perhaps they go and have some negotiations again with him.
I had a Gambian say
and they can negotiate with him, and in such circumstances, he needs to have the trust, okay, of not only the opposition, but those who come to negotiate with him and the Gambian people, that whatever they agree with him, they need to follow through. Because no matter what you think, he also has people who support him in the country, you know.
Amazing.
It's the fear about, I will leave and later you'll be doing silly things towards me.
No, but if that he had opportunities to.
No, but it's the fear
to get
because remember when President Barrow was the elect, he was declared the winner.
Yeah, then he quickly.
Initially, he said they were not going to do anything to him. But then him and as well as his other people in the opposition started talking, and people, human rights records, they will take a look at some of them, but they're not going to be, you know, and the man is the president. He hasn't left yet.
Yeah.
And then you're already talking that way. So he's stay put. You have to be diplomatic about it.
Roland, I've had some reflections this morning. I've been thinking about Gambian very much. And Mr. Barrow, I've been thinking, would he become a Yaya Jammeh someday?
I don't think so, because they have terms. And if you look at the way he came to power, and now the efforts by ECOWAS and the other regional groupings, and even the whole body of the continental body AU, and even the UN, as well as other peace mediators, there's no way that he's going to gain the trust of the international community.
How did Yaya Jammeh come in?
He came in through a coup d'etat.
Okay.
He came in through a coup d'etat.
I'm just
metamorphosed into a so-called civilian
I'm just
leader
saying.
who
I'm just saying, because we've seen leaders
win.
come in. We've seen leaders come in with the backing of all the unions and the commissions, and you know, everybody empathizes with them, and then they come in and they start to change constitutions and things like that to make them feel comfortable. You know, sometimes the devil, you know. I'm just saying. Okay, so that's it for the review. Let's do
the devil, you know, is better than the angel. You don't know.
Let me just put my 10 Ghana and just keep quiet. And we'll make
again. This is symbolic. We keep saying that we'll open the box a match.
Yeah, match is what?
And match.
Yeah. Today I really felt
No
I felt taking the 10 Ghana cedis. I felt it, man.
Because you didn't have enough.
Bread and
yeah, I didn't feel it at all. I had good suppliers from the bank.
Or whatever. Roland, I've got a question. If you get it right, I'll give you 1 Ghana. Who's the reigning AFCON champion?
Cheap.
That's a cheap question. That's a cheap question.
We went to final with Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana.
Stay with us. We've got sports coming up next. It's 54 minutes after 6.
Sports.
You're watching
we're trying to
show. Maybe I should have asked any of our cameramen.